may get this name wrong. Laile Neal. Probably get it wrong. I apologize.
That's fine. It's Laile Neal, and it's 2116 Sagebrush Drive here in Flower Mound, Texas. I'm the vice chair of the Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustment and the president of the Staton Oak HOA, which is the group of homes just to the south of here. So I think you're looking for some input from HOAs, and I was going to add some input from the BOA, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. And it's, I believe I understand the direction the wind is blowing now, but from a nuts and bolts perspective, the south-facing restriction, the street-facing restriction for the panels, that would be affecting both south-facing houses and possibly west-facing houses, because you can derive quite a bit of power from the west as well. And I'll make an assumption here, that these decisions will be subject to the variance process, which means that people who are looking to add some street-facing arrays would be in front of our board eventually. I'm sure you all are very familiar with the 4 criteria for our Board of Adjustment. And I feel like if it doesn't sound like it's going to be the case, but if the street-facing limitation is held in place, it would be very difficult to maintain the robustness of the ordinance. And as part of my job of the BOA member, I'm looking to do 2 things. I'm looking to protect the robustness of the ordinances that you guys pass. I'm also looking to, lack of a better term, I'm looking to elevate the equity of the town. So if you pass an ordinance that is not 100% equitable for 1 or 2%, I'm trying to elevate the 1 or 2% that, are the outliers. So if there is a person that comes in front of the board and presents a case in terms of using the 4 points, point 1 being special circumstances, it would be very easy for them to say, well, I'm a south or street-facing customer. I could only get an array on the south side, so I feel like my house is a special circumstance, and it would very rapidly fall into that. The second point would be what I call the fairness version, which is basically all of my neighbors can have an array. Just because my house faces the street, why can't I have an array also? So that would very easily pass that one. And the first 2 are the most difficult to pass. So if they can easily pass the first 2, I have no problem with the second 2. The third one is the safety aspect. And you might make an argument for the street-facing arrays with point 3. However, I would point out that there are, to my knowledge, no restrictions on windows or skylights currently in place. So if you don't restrict what you can put on top of your house, period, how could you make an exception for solar arrays? So I would feel like this would be a difficult one for me to defend if you kept the street-facing arrays in place. That's all I have in terms of the BOA. As far as the HOA, I can't speak for the rest of my board members, but if anybody in my neighborhood wants to put an array up, go right ahead. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Neal.